What's going on, guys? Matthew Moniz here, and the iPhone XS and XS Max are having some issues. In fact, a lot of people, or a handful of people, are complaining about their brand new iPhones that cost a lot of money are having LTE and Wi-Fi connectivity problems. They'll connect to the network, they just won't get the speeds they're supposed to, especially when you compare it to the couple of previous generations of iPhones. Now, this is not another Antennagate. This is not another situation where back in 2010, if you bought an iPhone 4 and you were holding it incorrectly and covering those antenna bends, the signal would drop. That's not the situation happening here. You can cover the phone however you want, you'll still get the same signal. It's just that signal is not strong enough. Now, we're gonna test this theory out. I have here an iPhone XS Max and of course a Galaxy Note 9, which is using the Snapdragon 845. We're gonna run a test on the Wi-Fi network and see what kind of speeds we get to determine whether or not this issue is more widespread. So first off, let's start off with the Galaxy Note 9. We're connected here in my studio on my Wi-Fi network. As you can see here, Bell Canada is my provider. And I'm in the basement, I'm not in a good spot, so don't expect super fast speeds, but so far we have a good ping at 9 milliseconds, so that means good latency, and we're getting about 58 megabits or 61 megabits per second for download speeds. Upload speeds are even faster. It's topping out at about 78 or 80 megabits per second at this point. All right, there we have it, 65 megabits down and 85 megabits per second up. Now it's time to do the iPhone XS Max. Okay, so the ping is exactly the same. We're getting 9 milliseconds on the iPhone XS and we're getting slightly slower download speeds. I don't think this is enough to justify that this is a big issue from this test, but we're gonna take it one step further. Actually, this is kind of interesting. The upload speeds are not that great. We're only getting about 40 megabits per second on the iPhone XS Max, which is like half the speed you'd get on the Note 9. Let's bring in the smaller iPhone for a second and see if we get similar results. Okay, so on the iPhone XS, we're actually getting a better ping of 5 milliseconds compared to the 9 milliseconds on the Galaxy Note 9, but the speeds of the actual downloads are significantly slower than both the XS Max and the Note 9. We're getting about 30 megabits down, which is really poor. Wow, the upload speeds are at 22 megabits per second. That's actually quite terrible compared to the other two previous devices. Now we're gonna take both of these devices off the Wi-Fi network and leave it on LTE. Both devices are using a telesim, so therefore they're connected to the exact same network. Okay, so on the Galaxy Note 9, we're topping out at 8.5 megabits per second. We have a good ping of 31 milliseconds. I'm in the basement of the studio. I think this is a great test because the whole issue between the XS Max is that their signal is not strong enough to get those speeds. So if we're in a situation like this, the XS Max should perform significantly lower. So let's see how the XS Max does compared to the Galaxy Note 9. So as you can see here already, based on our first test, the XS Max has half the speeds of what the Note 9 can do connected to the exact same network. Upload speeds are kind of interesting though. They're kind of similar to the Note 9, but still not as fast as the Note 9. Let's do the test again to basically give them both another opportunity to do their thing. So go ahead with the Note 9 first. So it tops out at 8, it drops for a second and pushes right back up to 8 megabits per second. So we're definitely seeing a faster speed with the Note 9, but we're getting about the same upload speed on both devices. Next up, we have the XS Max. So this time, the upload speed on the XS Max is significantly more than it is on the Note 9. And that's kind of interesting because when we did the Wi-Fi test, the upload speed both on the XS Max and the 10 was pretty close to the Note 9. So maybe there's something wrong with their download or the bands that basically take care of downloading information. So here are my closing thoughts. There's definitely a speed difference between the Note 9 and both iPhone XS's. The Note 9 definitely gets slightly better upload and download speeds more consistently and more often, both on Wi-Fi and LTE. But honestly, the speed differences between all devices are not that big of a deal. I'd be more concerned about the latency. For example, the ping in all of these smartphones are within reach of each other, meaning the latency is really good, which means it's talking to the server at the exact same time and getting you that data as quickly as possible. The 5 to 10 megabits per second is really not going to make a difference in your day-to-day life when you're doing simple things like browsing the net and checking your email. Is this a huge issue to the point where Apple has to do a hardware recall? I definitely don't think so. Maybe Apple can just issue a software update, boost the power the antennas are using, and provide better upload and download speeds. And maybe this issue for people who are having Wi-Fi and LTE connectivity problems is more widespread to a smaller batch of devices compared to the total picture. So there you have it. Here's the proof that the iPhone XS definitely has lower speeds than most Snapdragon 845s, but I don't think we have another Antennagate on our hands. So that pretty much wraps up this little comparison. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think this is more widespread, and do you think Apple should issue a software update to boost the speeds on both of these devices? If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram for some behind the scenes. Hit me up on Discord if you have any questions about any of these smartphones, and I'll see you guys in the next video.